Hey, Fishalata here with Fishy Review. Today I've got an unboxing of a filter that I bought over 3 years ago. It's been in a box, and it seems like forever. Why would I buy a canister filter and it sits in a box for 3 years? This is a Marineland Magniflow 360. It's good for up to a 100-gallon aquarium. And it has sat in this box since I bought it on sale at PetSmart. I was going to use it on my 75-gallon tank. I still will. At the end of this, that's where it's going to be. But life happened. You know how that goes. This is probably 2017. It's over 3 years ago at this point. Bought the filter. Had some medical problems. Had to get a stent in my heart put in. Then had to get shoulder surgery several months later. Got everything put back together. I'm doing a lot better now. So it's good. I like to have my arm working and my heart. Those are good things. You need both of those for various reasons, I've heard. I don't know. So this has been in the box for this time. And I've not even opened the box. I might have popped the top open. I don't know. I don't remember seeing the filter. So it's kind of exciting to actually get in the box. They still sell these. I was afraid I would look at this and say, oh, they discontinued it. But no, it's still for sale. PetSmart still sells it too. Other places sell it. Not mentioning their name for any reason. That's just where I bought it. So I think because it's at PetSmart, it comes with some extra. It says it comes with a first maintenance pack included. So we will take a look at it and get it set up. See what I got here. Here's the box. It's a big box. I'm going to open the box. It is a big one. And just throw in the plastic. It's got an extra box with it. Set that aside. There's the canister. Yeah. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, look at this. It is wrapped up. Look at it. No, untouched. So here's a parts diagram here that it comes with. Looks like some O-rings. Plastic. One big O-ring seal. Stuff that sticks to me. Okay. Get the cord loose. Power cord. Still some tape holding all this plastic together. This thing is a beast. Oh my gosh. I have a Rena filter on this aquarium today. It's a Rena XP4. I think it's API now, has bought them since then, but when I bought the tank at the end of 06, early 07, that's what I bought at the pet store that I bought the tank at. She recommended that filter, and it still works. It's still pretty much the same as ever. I think the flow's down a little bit, even no matter how much I clean it. Probably needs a new impeller is all it would need. But the filter works great. No problems with it at all, ever. Except that I have a lot of hungry fish in there, and I really want to try out something new just to see what it does. And I'll use that filter out here in the fish room still. Get this plastic out of the way. Boy, this thing is huge. My gosh. I love it. What's in the box? Oh, I had a knife over here. There we go. The white box. I haven't looked at instructions or anything, so I'm going to learn Mickey here. So, have a quick start guide, like so. The quick start guide says to check it out, of course. We've got a manual, looks like a polishing filter pad, some tubing. This stuff's expensive these days. I'm trying to replace this on something. It's not cheap. Alright, carbon packs. Lots of carbon here, 4 carbons, 3 carbons. And hose parts and stuff. Okay, that must be the intake. This is the output. Oh yeah, it's the typical Marineland output. We've got this, same thing like I had on my hot Magnum filter with the square thing like this. So there's that. Okay, we'll worry about that in a minute. Oh, here's the thing that clamps on the top for the hoses. So the top part. So you can take it off of there and not have it leak out water. And this tank's in my living room. And when I bought it, I chose to put a canister filter on it. I like hang-on back filters a lot, I really do. But the noise. Sometimes they're noisy. If the water gets a little bit low, or in some cases if it's too high, but especially if it's low, they'll make noise. They after a power outage, sometimes they're a little less likely to get reprimed, especially if they're not really clean. And you know, they're not always perfectly clean. So I put a canister filter on it so that tank would be super silent, and it is. The only thing right now is there's an air pump on it. I've had some times when there didn't seem to be enough oxygen in the tank, and I hate having an air pump in the living room. I know I'm a fish guy. Why would I hate an air pump? You can probably hear it in the background. There's a giant one here in running this fish room. But you know, the noise, the air pumps, you know how they are. They walk around a little bit. Suddenly they're making a loud noise. Canister filter, if you have enough flow, then you don't really need one in most cases. Now, I do have some fish in there that like oxygen. You know, flying foxes. I don't have one of those right now, but like Siamese algae eaters. And my Pictus cat, he doesn't like not having enough air. So a couple of those, the rest of them seem to do okay if it's a little off, but it's okay. So let's see, how does this thing open? These look like latches. Okay, look at that. Yeah, so I can see that one. There we go. There's that. There's one on each side. There's that one I already opened over here. Okay. This thing is gigantic. Oh, there's more than two. Wow. There's four. That's pretty cool. Okay. There we go. Take that top off. All right. We're gonna just inspect where I think the impeller is. It says open or close. So close is that way. Let's open opposite the way I would have thought. Yeah, clockwise to open. Okay, here's a big old impeller. Looks real good and smooth. Looks like it's got a ceramic shaft. The shaft is white. Looks fine in there. Put it back. Kind of almost puts itself in. Lock it down. It's got to be latched. What does this red button do? Okay. I see they've got some silicone grease around these fitting holes here for where that thing clamps in. Now inside we have all kinds of stuff. Careful not to drop it. Okay, first basket. First basket contains it has a lid. It has a handle. Wow. So you can carry it to the sink, I guess. I would take the whole filter to the sink. I'm not going to walk across the house with it. So here's the polishing pad that's in this first layer. It's kind of wrapped around this little tube. Pull out from underneath. Inside we got these ceramic biomedia things. These are cool. This thing is going to have a lot of capacity. This is a lot. This is great. I love these. This is cool. They give you a bunch too. That's why this thing's so heavy. So I'm going to take them out of the bag because I'm going to have to rinse them out in the house. We'll put these guys in here. Fill them all in here. Definitely some dust in here we're going to want to rinse out. Things banged around a bit. Been sitting in my house for 3 years. They've been banged around here. So there they are. There they are. Don't handle again. Here they are with in the basket. That's cool. I guess you could have a little room for something else if you wanted to. Put that down. Polishing pad back in place and put the lid on it. Can't really get the lid wrong because it has a big hole in it. That lines up with the hole. We got to make sure everything is put together right with the canister filter though, because if you have anything off a little bit and you have to force the lid at all, that's not cool. You cannot be forcing the lid. It all needs to just fit in place. Whoa! Holy ceramic dust on my table. Jeez, ugh, that's gonna get in my feet. Okay, now, next basket. Oh, bio balls. Look at these things. Probably can't, they're black on black, right? I'll take them out. I'm trying to spill all these. Okay. These are little. They're that big. Okay. They're little bio balls. That's cool. They've got a lot of surface area inside there to hold all the good bacteria. In here. Man, we have so much more biological than I have in my current filter. Here we go. Now, we'll kind of set this, line up the pipes here. You got to make sure these are fitting together good on anything like that. There's nothing wonky. Okay, what's next? It's like Christmas. Okay, let's put a layer after this one. Okay. 3 carbon packs, so that's why they gave 3 carbon packs extra. So I've got those next 3 carbon packs. That's a ton of carbon. I'll probably put this in there for now and clear up the water real good for the fishies. I guess I should open each one of those. Have them ready to rinse off. You don't want to put this in there without rinsing it off and get all that carbon dust. Rinse out as much of that as possible. So we'll open each one of these. And I suppose you could, buy new ones of these each time. You can buy the filter bags like this. They have a tie on them. I think it's in my filter now. And just fill it with carbon. I would probably do some of both. So there's lots of carbon there. So put this, line up the pipes, put it underneath that. So far so good. Last layer, right? Yes, last layer. Okay, here we have, push this up, foam, black foam, different layers of foam. Pull this up. Okay, 2 of these, real coarse foam. You can see through it. I can't tell, but you can see a little bit. You can see the fish tank through it. Okay, so that's really going to be a lot easier to rinse out than the stuff that I have today in my Marineland filter. So it's 2 layers of that. That's all that's in there. Put that back in. Okay. Now, go. Rinse that off. Put this back in here. All right, so then we've got to figure out which way these things go back in here. I didn't look at them as they came out. The directions say that the arrow on here should face the arrow on the canister, but not there. I don't see it. Doesn't look like the drawing. I guess the instructions, maybe they've corrected it since then, but from 3 years ago, those aren't quite right. So, but figured out the arrow needs to point to the right-hand side of the filter with Marineland being the front. Okay, so that way this tube ends up in the right place. So when you put it all together. So I would put it in like this. I'm gonna test fit all this. Put this in here. Take these off. And put them in the right order. So I'll rinse this out later. Make sure this all fits pretty solid. Everything's lined up. Put these balls in here. Don't snap it down in there, you're going to have a problem. I read some reviews on this and they were pretty harsh sometimes about, I couldn't close it. Well, you didn't put it together quite right, I'm sorry. I'm sure that I might not even get it this time. I can't tell, honestly, if the things are lined up. That's what's nice about the filter that I have today on there is you can see through it a little bit. You can kind of see what's going on, but this is not transparent at all. Put that in there, put this lid on there. So keeping all the arrows to the right-hand side of the filter and hoping that things stay lined up there. That hasn't gone in all the way. Here's the top. Now the top didn't have the gasket in it. The instructions don't mention that either. Thanks, instructions. You're my favorite. So gasket is, I'm blind, darn it. Oh, it's blending in. I found it. Okay. The gasket, I think, the thing to keep in mind here, this is going to want to twist as you put it on. So it needs to go, looks like the wider way should go up and down. So we'll put it on here carefully so it doesn't twist. We would not want it to be twisted. That would not work well and could definitely bite you later. You need to push it in really gently to keep it from twisting. I'm going to do a little bit of time here. With my thumb, I suppose you could probably put some of that silicone grease on it and make it move easier, but it's going pretty easy, but you just need to take your time. Probably won't come out easily once it's in there. We'll see. Might pop off. The older it gets, the more likely it would be to stick to the top, I would expect. Maybe peel out when you are servicing the filter. Okay, now I've got it pushed in there with my pinky finger as much as I can all the way around. And now we've got, you can see here's the front of the filter, it says Marineland on the front, and that hole is right here. It's hard to deal with, this thing's so big. And here's the little tube's got to go in that hole. So now we put it on here. We're going to see if we got things in right at all. Okay. If we got it right, I should be able to clasp these things here to where they're not a problem. Kind of fighting me, so let's do there. So this side looks like it's pushed up a bit. That gasket not being in there to begin with might not help. Okay, that went down easily. So that's what we want to see. There we go. That's easy. No problems there. Don't want to force it. You gotta force it. Something is wrong. Which is making me wonder what's going on right here. Okay. Pretty serious. Let's do that again to make sure. That was just getting everything settled in. So here's this thingy. We got to put this on here for the hoses. This is different from what I've had before. It's got a red lever under here. This is important. So you're gonna have a hard time getting this on here if you don't do that. Open up the black lever, let the red lever stay. And then you can take this red lever and you gotta twist it. Okay, gotta turn it. I think it only really goes one way. Gotta go the direction where it wants to go. That's not it. Gotta go this way. Okay, like that. And so that these little notches are pointing towards the little tubes. Now, with this notch here, towards this notch right here, you can put it in here, push down a little bit. It'll be pretty flush right here. It'll be even. Okay, now I can turn this red thing a little bit, 90 degrees, turn it 90 degrees, and lower it down, and then I can bring down the black one. Now this is locked in, it's not coming out. So that can't accidentally pop out. Must be why they did that. My other filter just has one lever, and I guess you're on your own. Now that's what that would look like. Of course, we have to attach the hoses still and all that good stuff. Okay, putting the hoses on is not the easy part. What we've been doing so far is the easy part. I've been trying to put these hoses on. See, I've got this one scuffed up a bit, but I've got it figured out. You've got to put them down on the barb all the way, as straight as you can. I'm gonna hold it straight. The tricky part is that it bites you a little bit at the end, so you just got to screw this up onto here, holding the hose at the same time. That seems like you have to do that. Okay. I hope that is good enough. Do not want this to pop off. Okay. Let's try the other one. The hoses are attached to that end. I don't know if I'll have to cut these off a little bit so there's not too much slack. It says to have a couple inches of slack. Well, I finally got those hoses on, I think good enough, although, yeah. I think gloves would be a good idea. I tore the, I guess it would have been a blister, but it ripped open, so it's really tender right now on the thumb. You have also, those replacement O-rings, or did I need them somewhere? Those would typically go right here. Take this, turn the lock thing. Okay, those are replacement O-rings because it has O-rings. Turn it, lower it. Okay, that's cool. Now, get the giant octopus of hoses out of the way. Okay, so what do we got here? More stuff. Intake tube, strainer on there. Oh, it says in and out. Up here it says in on this side, in on this side, and out on this side. Actually says out, yes. So it's labeled there. I was wondering, where's the in and out? Can't get it backwards. So that's the in, so that this is gonna end up on the inside. And this other guy here is gonna be the output. So it's just a spray. It's not just a spray, it's not a bar. And that's the clamps. Okay, so idea would be, obviously, if you're not familiar with this, not obvious if you're not familiar, right? Go ahead and fit the hose in here. Oh boy. Yikes. Okay, they don't make this any fun. Here we go. You want to slide this on here. I hope I don't have to cut it, but I don't think I will. You want to slide the hose on up to this last ridge here. There's like the little barbs, a space, and the ridge. And then the idea would be this clamp should be between the barbs and the ridge. And you just squeeze it tight, okay? And rearrange this now. So that's the input side. And then the output side, we would do the same. I'm sure it's just as fun to put on, but maybe I'm getting better at it. Yeah, it's only a little. Ugh, I'm not very smart. And if you don't put this on first, looks like it'll fit over the tube easily. I was afraid it wouldn't. Clamp that down. Okay, and then you got suction cups to help hold it in place in the tank. So you can snap it on there and suction cup it to the tank. I'm sure after a few years these might not work, but hopefully they last a while. You got 4 suction cups in here. So, and that is that. So from here I would rinse out all the media and we'll put it on the tank and show you what it looks like once it's running, and the sounds it's going to make on the startup. It's supposed to make some noise when it starts up. It's going to have air in there that's expected. So here we go. All right, here it is in the cabinet next to the old filter. This old filter over here has been here for 14 years now. It's been here for 14 years now. Been working just fine. Hello, here's Stella. Hi, Stella. Come over here. Stella, say hi. Stella. No, Stella doesn't want to. All right, there's this new Marineland filter. It's making some noise. I'll put it here so you can hear. You can tell there's a little bit of air in there. Should expel in a couple days. I'd expect that, as long as it gets better. It's really big. It doesn't fit right in here. I think to get the bottom part out, I'm gonna actually have to take off the top, like take out the valves, like so it doesn't leak. Then remove the top next. Either take it out or leave it in here. Probably take it out to clean the impeller. But then I'll have to take out this, which is big and heavy. So this thing is huge. While I was editing this video, I realized I asked the question, what does this red button do? Right here, I didn't answer that question. This is an important button. This is the button that lets you prime the pump. So we've got to have water coming down this input tube here from up in the tank, and I've drained the tank down so I could break the siphon on purpose. Here's the input tube, and that's running back up over the back of the tank and down here. So it doesn't have water in it right now because I purposely sucked all the water out by turning the pump on while it was out in the air, which normally you never want to do. You don't want to let that happen because it's a pain to get a canister pump primed again. So they have this red button. This old filter, which you can tell how dirty that one is because you can see through it, this one does not have a red button. You have to actually open up the top of the pipe and pour water in. This is a better option, I think, but this is where you got to push this button up and down. Now, it's under this stand. It's hard for me to do because I don't have the leverage on it. So I'm going to put the camera over here. I'm going to try to just get a view of the red button. And I'm going to pump it, and we're going to try to get this. You kind of hear the water squishing when it's going right. Kind of like when you're plunging a toilet just the right way, you know it's going to work. Let's get this a few pumps. Now, let's see if that did it. Okay. Here. I left the output exposed so that we can see it. And see how well we're doing. Plug this in. All right, there we go. Oh, it's trying. It's thinking about it. It all works better if the tank's completely full. So me leaving the water down a little bit's not helping. But let's see if it's gonna go. Sounds good. There's some water coming. Here we go. Come on, keep going. There we go. If it gets going good, it'll really spray. Once we got all the air purged out. There we go. Look at that. I think that's good. Let's give it a second. All right. And the pump is primed. So that's what that red button's for. The red button lets you get the pump started, and it's a nice feature. I like it. It's a little hard to use under the stand here, but it does work. And the trick is to just never need it. Don't let the tank get low. Always unplug the pump when you're doing a water change so that it doesn't suck air into it. If it sucks air in, now you probably have to do the same potentially when you clean the filter. If you're careful though and keep water in that tube, even if the filter was empty, it would actually siphon the water down into the canister filter from that input tube as soon as you hook up the connector here, this connector that comes off. So as soon as you hook that up, it's going to siphon the water down and could fill the whole thing as long as the input is underwater. I'll go ahead and put the rest of the water in this tank and we'll move on with this. Looks good. Up here, if I can get rid of this light in a minute. Okay, there we go. Still a lot of glare at the daytime. There's the fishies. We've got a lot of reflections. So I've got the output right next to the output of the old filter right now. And there it is. It's disturbing the surface to aerate it. There's a sponge in here, but it's really only in here because I needed an air stone. And I want to season some new sponges for all the new tanks I'm setting up. So there's one in here. Get it started. The old filter you can see is full of Java moss. And then here's the new one. The new, it's really long. It goes all the way to the bottom. I really can't shorten it. I think your only hope, if you don't want it down by the gravel, would be to put it at an angle like that. Kind of did that itself. I didn't shorten the hoses as much as it said. It said only leave 2 inches of slack. I left a little more because I'm not sure where this will end up once the old filter comes out. But having that extra slack in there is actually bad because it kind of forces the tube to move because it pushes up on it. So I think that 2 inches of slack is, I think they said that for a reason. Hey, if you like this video, if you could leave a like and a subscribe, that'd be great. I could really use the help getting this channel started. So far, we're doing great. Looking for more to come, more videos to do. I've got a big list of things I want to do. Really excited to do it. Having so much fun with it. Just remember, have fun. Thanks.